I'd like to call this meeting to order. This is the regular absentee ballot review meeting, the fourth meeting of the Dare County Board of Elections. Today is Tuesday, February 20th. And first order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance, if you'll join us. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. The next item of business is the approval of the minutes of our February 13th absentee ballot review meeting last week. I trust everybody had a chance to look at the minutes. Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes? Okay, seeing that there are no corrections or additions to the minutes, all those in favor of approving the minutes, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, the minutes are approved. The next item of business is old business, and we don't have any old business to take up right now. What we worked on last week will all be included in our absentee ballot review process. And so I want to turn that over to Jackie Tillett, our director, to start us off on that. Jackie, please.
So today we have 15 total absentee ballots. We have 12 civilian and 3 overseas. The last week, we had a question about 2 of the ballots with the voters' suffixes being included in their signatures. I was advised by the state board that that is not a requirement. So those ballots have been included in this count for the board's review and approval for this week. So we have 3 overseas ballots. I'll start with them first so the board can look at the duplication of those ballots to make sure that they're accurate prior to us moving on to the civilian ballot container envelopes.
Thank you.
The 12 includes the 2? 12 includes the 2?
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
While the board is looking at those, I'm going to go ahead and boot the DS200 up.
I want to ask you a question later. I want to ask you a question later.
Let me get that.
I'm sorry, I did beat that.
Did I give you one?
That's for you to review.
Okay.
one was gonna be the loser.
Oh, right.
Jackie? Question on this. No address, does it matter?
What do you mean, no address? Let me come around.
What's his name? I don't have her address.
There's the address right there. This is what you should be looking at.
Okay, I saw this, but it's not on the other side.
That doesn't matter because that is, just a transmittal sheet and all that's
Okay.
required is that
Their name.
their name. And then this is really what you should be looking for is the affirmation of the voter's affirmation.
Okay, well, like I said, I saw it on one side, didn't see it on the other side question. Okay, that answers my question. We don't care if the name is on there.
Because it is right there. So all the information is there. You know, you got their name.
Where they live here.
Right,
All right,
right.
they gave me that one, so,
They gave you this one?
yes,
Oh, so they've all seen this one?
yes.
He hasn't seen this one, I think.
Have you seen all three? That one's done.
So this one is complete?
Yes.
Mhm.
The public count on the DS 200 is 21, and that was where we left off last week at 21.
Republicans have one too. His name's
Oh, really?
He's the vice governor right now.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I saw that on the ballot. I thought,
This is interesting. We have
confusing.
two guys running for governor.
Yeah.
Mark Roberts is running for governor.
Yeah. Are you finished?
Yeah.
Okay.
For Clinton.
I think I've seen this, haven't I? Did I give that to you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there you go.
So those are all done.
Mhm. Bruce. This is one of the ones from last week.
So the board is now reviewing the 12 civilian ballot containers for review, approval.
Can we take these out? Can we take these out?
I don't think so. Oh, actually, probably.
Can we take these out?
That one you have to.
Yes.
Because
that
I
one you
can't
have to-
see it.
Yes, you can. So what he's asking about is the copy of the photo ID included in the ballot container is really blown up really big, so they have to take it out so they can actually see the whole expiration date and the name.
I'm not gonna put it back in, I'll leave it out. Otherwise it's gonna rip.
Yeah, you don't want to get them confused, we'll just stick it like that.
Yeah, otherwise it's gonna get ripped up.
There's two of them like that. And then again, last week, there was a question about the voters including a suffix on the end of their names in their signature. And advisement from the State Board of Elections tells us that the suffix is not required for the voter's signature.
There's an issue here, but I don't anticipate that. It's, notary.
Yeah, I also asked about that notary. I asked about that notary, and that doesn't matter. As long as it's here,
On the seal.
yes, it's on the seal, so what they wrote here, it doesn't matter.
Okay. So,
That is also in a numbered memo that you all probably would have seen regarding guidance for review and approval of the ballot containers.
so on this particular one, the notary wrote an incorrect date of their expiration of their notary, but the seal itself
Yes,
has the
The-
expiration date.
right.
So,
And that would fall before it anyway, before that date.
Did y'all hear what they
With
said?
it, Yeah,
Okay.
good catch.
And I did ask the state board about that, and they,
This is one of the ones that
as
we
long
looked
as the
at
seal
last.
has it. we're good.
I don't remember, I don't think I've seen the other one yet.
Oh, yeah, this is the one with the third.
I just remember it.
Yeah, that's the third.
Mhm.
Because it says.
Yes, that's the one from last week, and there was another one,
Yeah, the junior.
Junior.
I don't have that one in here. That one, you gotta be kidding.
What?
I guess that's,
You don't have to look at the picture, that you can't, you're only looking for the reasonable resemblance of the name of the ID compared to the envelope and the expiration date on the ID. That's the only review that you're making on that container. Because you have no idea what these people look like, because you ain't never seen them before.
I can't tell by the picture they didn't send me. Yeah.
Right.
Is this supposed to be a signature?
Yep.
Really?
Yep,
Okay.
that's all we got.
Okay. November, that's okay. November 5th is the election, right?
Mhm,
That's the 30th.
mhm.
He just makes it,
But it's good for this one.
yes.
This is the first time I've seen these. This actually helps blowing them up because you can compare the signatures. Could've-
But you're not prepared.
No, I understand, but I mean, you can see it, you know?
Look at the picture.
Ken, are you done?
Yeah, you got,
Thank you.
$31, wow. I looked at those.
Did you read it?
Yeah, I gave it to you. Well, you did to me.
These are for you. I think. He's looked at them. I don't think you've seen these.
He just handed me these.
Okay.
There's always gonna be a loser and a priest.
Yeah.
This is 5, okay. This is 6. I guess we looked at all of them. You gave me, he gave me, yeah.
I think he's seen these.
Okay.
I think.
I think we need to go back to writing down numbers.
Yeah, last time I was writing names down as we went
You
through them.
write down numbers, the numbers, you can keep up with it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Faster. It's that area out there. On the right, it's not.
Karen Bose. Karen Bose.
That's right.
And you've seen these too?
I have.
Have you seen these, John? I think you started with these.
Yes,
So all of them have been done.
Yep,
those, I don't think Skip is.
I've seen those.
No.
I don't think I've seen these. Clifford Derricks.
I was thinking Jan. I know, it takes a while, but it filters through and pops in. It's in there, but it's to the front. Yes, she was.
Oh, yeah, I've seen these. That one's from last time.
Correct.
Yes. Yeah.
No, I've seen all these. I was wrong. I've seen every one of them.
Yeah.
For those who may be watching us online, we're doing an absentee ballot review right now where we literally, each member of the board looks at every absentee ballot we receive. This is what the envelope container envelope looks like. It's about this big and the ballot is inside. The ballot itself is ready to go into the tabulator when we receive these in the mail. So we look at significant information on here to identify the voter. When we get overseas ballots and military ballots, they come via email usually. And when we print the ballot that comes through the email, it comes out on an 8.5 by 11 page, which is not an official ballot that would be able to be fed into our tabulator. So what happens is on those ballots, the staff has to transpose who the voter voted for and transfer it over to an official ballot. And so we receive both of those copies to look at to make sure the transcriptions are accurate. And then we have a ballot that can be fed into the tabulator. So I just wanted, anyone who might be watching to understand that that's one of the parts of this process that's important.
And I'd like to add to that is that staff does it because we duplicate the ballot that has been emailed or comes in through the absentee portal. And we duplicate it, but we also indicate on the ballot that it is a duplicate. And the board had delegated those duties to staff by a resolution prior to the beginning of
Yeah.
absentee voting or early voting.
We can approve now.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. It's time for me to take a motion to approve the ballots that we've reviewed. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion, we approve the 15 ballots that we reviewed.
All right. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded to approve the 15 ballots that we've just reviewed. If there's no further discussion, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed,
Aye.
nay. All right. The ballots are approved. count? Yes, she did. She announced it. Did you get it? The number that we started with?
No.
I think it was 24, but we can check with her.
23, it has to be.
24?
No, 13 and 10. 5, 5, and 13.
It was.
The public counts, 21.
23 minus the 2 that we leave out, 21, yeah.
Right. So it's 21.
Yeah,
Last week.
no.
I opened a ticket with the state board.
You what?
I opened a ticket with the state board. I called them with a question. And I told them that we were having a meeting today by 3. And the lady that I spoke with that opened the ticket said that she was sure that she would communicate that.
And she didn't.
But I did not hear from the state board. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
They're shorthanded. That's what it is. I've already been told that because I had a help ticket that wasn't addressed. And prior to that, a couple of years before,
The
immediately.
15 ballots have been tabulated. The public count is now 36.
There you go. You're right.
That's why I count 2.
You want to look?
I really see, Did I?
You didn't have any trouble feeding them this time, did you?
No.
Yeah. That's a good thing.
So, yes.
It only happens when they've got really deep creases in them and they get touched a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we try not to, when we send them out, we try not to crease them hard because we know that they're going to be handled multiple times.
Yeah.
And go through the mail machine, so, but sometimes the voters will just take in.
Yeah. We've got to try to remember that when we speak to each other up here, we need to keep the mics on now. So whatever we talk about.
Well, the essence of the ticket is to get a legal definition of what is a legal name when it comes to elections.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Because if we have a mismatch between,
Let's talk about that loudly through the mic. Okay. John sent in a help ticket to the state to ask for help about a legal definition of name and what has to be or is not allowed, doesn't have to be on the identifying documents for a name. Now, this would be in reference to prefixes or suffixes in names and the use of those in signatures as to whether that might disqualify how a person filled out the container envelope for their absentee ballot. So the example would be the staff puts the name at the top with their address and there's no suffix. Or let's say that there is. A guy puts the third, that he's the third, and then he doesn't put that on his signature. And it may or may not be part of his license, even though officially we don't verify with the license for that element. It's really just for the photograph.
Well, no,
May-
it's not.
may I
That's
interject?
incorrect. That's incorrect.
That is with the photograph.
You are reviewing the ballot containers, and the stickers that are on the ballot containers are printed directly from the voter registration record. We don't make those stickers. And the guidance is in the numbered memo regarding review of absentee ballot containers is that you are looking as a board for reasonable resemblance of the name only and the expiration date. Now, if someone were to vote in person it is handled a little bit differently because that person is in person and the precinct official is asking that voter to state their name and current physical address, and then they ask them for an ID. They are examining that ID for a reasonable resemblance of their personal face and a reasonable resemblance of the name on that ID. It doesn't have to be exact because a person may have had a name change and may not have gotten their driver's license, and you can tell whether or not it's reasonable resemblance to the name by the voter record.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying me on that. This is something that we're still learning.
Yeah, and
And-
you all would have received a numbered memo regarding the review of the absentee containers, and everything is spelled out in there. And as far as the suffix goes, when I put in the help ticket to the state, I was advised that the suffix did not need to be on there.
But that does not give me clarity in terms of what represents a legal name. And with respect to a driver's license or an ID that is presented, what I got from the numbered memo was the name that is on that ID should correspond to the name that in our county is associated with the sticker on the return container envelope.
Right.
Those two should match. If they match, that's fine. With respect to the signature is either, it could be their mark, it can be
That's
Right.
correct.
reasonable,
But the
there's
name,
no
the
signature
name,
matching.
the name is still our guidance, and it's listed in the voter station guide that you're looking for a reasonable resemblance to the name.
Mhm.
It could be,
But again, that does not give me clarity in terms of the legal definition of name that is being used by North Carolina State Board of Elections.
they're
And
using,
that's what I'm asking for.
they're using the voter registration record, and you're comparing the ID to reasonably resemble what's on that voter's record.
So therefore, if there's a suffix, if there's Mickey Mouse the third on the label, and he just signs Mickey Mouse, they're not the same people.
But the suffix is what they've
But
told
they
me at
don't
the
say
state.
that in the memo. They sort of they don't really tell you
The-
that.
They never
the-
mentioned this.
The
a
email that I
suffix.
No.
received from my help ticket says Suffolk does not need to,
Well, that's.
but I can show that to you after the meeting.
We got the memo, and I had the same thing. That's
I
why
read
I
the
brought
memo
it
as
up. It does not say they're supposed to match. They're supposed to be the same as that. So the label says Mickey Mouse the third. The guy who signed it says Mickey Mouse. They're not the same
I'm just
people.
telling you what I got from the state as guidance. When I asked the question about the suffix from the last meeting, the answer that I got was, no, suffix is not required.
But that's not the clarity in the memo, just like John said. It doesn't state that.
But what I'm telling you is when I put in the ticket after the meeting last Tuesday and asked the question, was it required for the voter to sign their ballot container, including the suffix? And the response that I received from Allison Blackman at the state was, no, suffix is not required. That's verbatim.
And this is what we'll go by. And I think we can all safely conclude that the folks at the State Board of Elections are going to have to take a closer look at this, because there's probably this, we're not the originators of this question. We can't be, not when there are 100 other voting counties in the state. I'm sure that question will come up. And so they probably need to refine a lot about how they've brought out some of this, where we're starting to tie identifications like the state ID that our office can produce and with a voter, or the driver's license, or what have you, all of those kinds of things. And on the absentee ballot, even the photograph piece is, we don't have anything to compare it to because there's no one standing there. So it becomes kind of superfluous,
Well,
So-
there is the the printed name on the photo ID.
Yeah,
And that's the important piece of
Right,
information.
that's right,
With
that's
respect
right.
to
that's right.
the return container.
I mean, in my experience in my business, as far as building codes, for instance, my mantra has always been that if compliance is what a governing body wants, then the simpler and more cohesive and uniform the instructions are, then it's easier for the people who you want to comply with the regulation or the law, and in this case,
I agree.
the identification. And so, I think they probably know that they have work to do, and and I think it's good that we give them feedback. If we give them, ask for help tickets, that's the feedback, because that'll cut down, if they can refine how they communicate these requirements, then they'll have less help tickets coming at them. So it's as
Yeah, I
simple
want
as
to
that.
also clarify that it says the name on the ID is substantially equivalent to the name on the voter record. That's how it reads.
Yeah, so there's a soft spot there in terms of how we interpret. So that's okay. That's what we'll go by. Just like we always do. We follow the statutes, we follow the laws, and then we go forward, with the intent being to try to help the voter vote. And so we'll continue with that. So, Jackie, do you have any other business?
No, I don't.
Okay. Mr. Buchanan, Mr. Carter, y'all have any more business? Okay, seeing that there's no further business, I just wanted to let everybody know before we adjourn that our next absentee ballot review meeting will be next Tuesday, the 27th, right here at 3 p.m. And want to thank you all for coming today. This meeting's adjourned.
I'll sign this for me, please, and then you have these. Skip.
Ken, will you stick around just for a minute? I'm going to introduce you to Tracy Swain, who's appointed to our board. Sitting out there. Oh, that's right, you were out there. Yeah, good. Did you hear what I said? Hi, Carol.
Bye, everybody.
Jackie, I didn't realize that Miriam had actually question.
Yeah, this is Tracy, this is John
Hi,
Carter. Tracy
nice
Carter.
to meet you.
This is Andy Finn.
Yes.
I mean, we've never really even
The senior member of our board.
posed that question to us.
I'm glad we did that. You were test to be able to ask the questions. She's
The one who also doesn't like the rules.
You could ask because we.
Sharp as a tack.
I can tell you. Yes, get started.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
yeah, I get it. It's fine.
She's like, well, there are these rights. And I was like, nobody's rights are infringed, honey. Be in your bonnet, say that, be responsible.
It's okay, but I just,
No.
I gave her the contact.
Oh, no.
From the state.
I just
I mean,
prefer that.
I'm here, I just.
No, but you
My job says, and
No, and you do an excellent job at bringing, not everything's pristine, you know, you gotta kind of go with it. That was an HR, I thought we needed. They're like the other things. that
Actually, it's good.
come up.
yeah.
You know, she'll be here a while, she'll be a while.
Now, tell me, this is what we got to go by, but this is not the same. But it's okay. You make a little bit of a law. Now, John was kind of the same.
No, I totally understand.
My father was involved in litigation.
The lady
She was a state Democratic.
Yeah.
I had a savings account.
She didn't sign it.
I'm John.
And I went running up to say,
Okay.
this is a new face.
Thank you.
That's okay.
All right, you told us.
But
Now, can I ask you a question?
Mhm.
Okay, there are three
ordered that
three places in name appears. There's the sticker that corresponds to what's in your record. There is the.
so they blocked my
There's
signature,
the signature.
and he's John Parker III.
Right.
I'm sorry, he's Junior.
Yeah,
We lived at the same address.
right.
So what they're saying is.
So here we have a situation where,
Don't.
from my perspective, some of these IDs or identifications, you could readily present. And if it doesn't have 30 of, you know, whether you're junior,
No, I totally understand.
third, or
Yeah.
fourth,
So now I
you actually vote.
Well, that's it.
Uh,
Yeah.
You could go and present at KDH, and you could send an email and ballot. And it says, okay, well,
Okay, I see.
John L. Carter voted at KDH,
You got
John
to
Carter
compare the
III.
signature.
Because I had two legal ballot photo IDs. One says the third one.
Okay.
So my issue again has to do with, give me the legal definition of
It
name.
says it according to those two. They look
What's
at your
your
face.
voting laws?
And
And then where on the document, what is the legal name presented?
Yeah, because this says, I think, my name.
They just make sure
Because
that
it's so-
there is one.
No, no,
That's
One
all.
says-
no, last four of the social, no driver's license.
It says, Kansas, Kansas expires
No, last week I was watching, I
10/33.
don't know, I watched.
It says it's
Over,
for
over, and I.
Is it right? What's the-
oral identification.
Right. Yeah, okay, I think I got it now, thank you.
Well, do you think it's because of us just starting to have IDs that it's confusing, or is this?
This container. Forever.
Yeah, so it's not just the ID.
And then you have the same thing. One of them, have a lot. She said that's the signature.
Oh, you could use it as that.
But I can tell you that's not like
There you go.
And I have
You know,
a name, so.
the signature is not relevant to as long as
I
there's
think I'm
ink,
making,
as long as there's ink on that signature line, you're welcome.
What did you say?
so I can come to the meeting to this next week if you'd like to,
Nice to
The
meet you.
15th,
whatever the next.
the next one's the 27th.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a week from today.
Yeah, no, I said I can come.
Good, good. Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay.
I'm really glad you come back.
Yeah.
Get a
Yeah.
sense of what.
Yeah,
It's mindset as much as it is.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of detail.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Mindset. And these guys are really good.
Yeah.
They do, they take care of it.
Yeah.
So does Randy.
Yeah.
Did you notice
Amazing.
running for governor
Thank you, thank
is
you.
Mark
Well, it's
Johnson
nice to meet y'all.
on both
I'm
parties?
at the door.
Yes.
They both have a Mark Johnson.
I'll push it around if you want, Jackie. I've got the jacket on.
I'm good, thank you.
Okay. See you later, buddy. Be careful driving home.
Yes, yes, yes. Tuesday. Yay. You can help.
Yes, I'm sorry, I meant to call you earlier.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
The doors were locked.
Oh, you came out the front.
I walked around
I'm
so
sorry.
I wouldn't be involved in the filming if anybody was here.
Filming what?
This,
I'm sorry.
you good? How long has it been over?
About 10 minutes.